And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. We had quite an adventure this past weekend. It was glorious. Inglorious bastards. I just saw a lot of red and I just dove in and bought it. I looked at which crypto. I'll tell you, I'm not going to give away my exact strategy. But I've talked to the $500 people and broke down exactly who, what, when, where, and why I did what I did. So congratulations to those that took advantage of the Crypto Hulk Hotline, a.k.a. $500 Club. A handful of you, I had to kind of just break down what I'm doing and how, because some of you weren't making the money that you wanted because you were doing certain things, and we had to change those things. I broke down to you exactly, taking the time, whatever, to show you what I'm doing, how I'm able to pull thousands. When this bad shit happened to everyone else, I'm turning it into gold for me. Okay, so it was a lovely event. And I still got some stuff put away, let's say, to where if this were to happen again, bam, I'm on it. I'm back at it like a crack addict, right? Bruce Lee Harkin. Anyhow, Crypto Hulk here. Welcome back to the show. First 5 people are 552-man Brian Edwards, Law of One, Crypto Bat. Lester is here. Steve Mariano, Brian Carasone, AJ Singh. And that'll be it for now. So yeah, if you're a $500 member, a lot of you took advantage of that. Called me up. We looked over all your stuff that's going on. Then I showed you what I'm doing. Some of the $500 people didn't call. See, the reason you call is because I took major advantage and I got set up. And in the next probably 3, 4, 5 days, I think I might be pulling some money out. I'm already up on certain cryptos that I put in $300. So it's very positive. Let me look at my phone on this one particular. I put in on, I think, 4 different cryptos. Let me take a look here. This one particular one, I'm up $300. That's just one. And that's not even fully up. So, I mean, I could cash out now, make a quick 300, but I'm trying to get 6 to 9 out of this at least. 6 would be great. If I can walk away with $600 just on this one crypto alone. But that's what I was talking to the $500 people about that. Like, look, if you copy this, like, look what I'm doing here. That's how I'm going to walk away with thousands. And some people that are new, that don't know what's going on, are terrified. I looked at it and I was like, oh shit, let me buy the fuck out of that one. And that's, I'm not going to tell you all those different steps that I took. But I saw this as a massive chance to make money. So I don't know what channel you're watching. Some of the other ones probably are saying close to the same things, you hope. My name's Crypto Hulk, not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. Don't buy anything I tell you to buy. Don't sell anything I tell you to sell. 24/7, I'm on hardcore mind-altering drugs. Any kind of financial advice you get from the show, mind-altering drugs, don't listen. Heroin, cocaine, hashish, peyote, LSD, methamphetamines, I'm on them all 24/7, okay? So that is your disclaimer and my get-out-of-jail card. Yes. So we got A1 Designs, hard ketones, not regular, for Zoltar. Wait a second. I see a 319. Oh, it keeps popping up. There it is. 319. Stu Lavelle. Stu Lavelle says, well, I suppose I have been filling little bags of sand for years. Shawshank Redemption style. But my little bags of sand have built me a beach where I drink cold beer out of coconuts. I'll tell you what, we go over a lot of different cryptos on this channel. If a crypto makes it to my channel, it's because I've looked it over and I have certain guidelines before I put a crypto on my show. So, I mean, I look on my phone now. I don't have all these like I don't buy every single crypto that I talk about because I'd have like 80 and I really don't want to just put like $100 into each crypto or something like that. Now, what I will say is a lot of the cryptos that I go over my show, I'm in and out of. That part's true. Some of the cryptos during this dip, I look back at some of the cryptos that I've talked over in the past and bought a sizable position. So I don't, what I do is, I'm not going to break down how I'm trading because that's for the $500 members, but Stu, I hear you. There's different ways to trade. And you can take your little sandbag here, sandbag there, all while keeping under a radar. And all of a sudden one day, some of these cryptos, it happens a lot in the crypto world. You get a crypto that's smaller, like LTO or some of these other ones, and a bigger company comes in, snatches it. We were talking about that about a month ago. Stargate, yeah, Stargate was a crypto. I think Wormhole wanted to buy it, but then somebody else. So sometimes you'll have a crypto that somebody else, a big company, comes in, snatches it up. Now your price just goes skyrockets. Then sometimes buy a crypto and everything just disappears. So what I'm showing you is that what you don't ever want to do is just have like one or two cryptos. That's bad. That's very bad because today there was a person, a crypto influencer, we'll call, and this crypto influencer was saying, yeah, there's a chance it looks like XRP Ledger or whatever it is could be taken by the government. Haven't I been telling you that for 5.5 years? I've only shown you with evidence the past 3 years that XRP is a government contractor, subcontractor. Only showing you that for 3 years now. For 3 years, I'm the only channel that's been showing about Ripple Singapore, Ripple Russia, Ripple China. Are we seeing something here? It's going to be sad one day when one of your favorite influencers, all they do is buy XRP. They're going to be so fucking destroyed. Because when XRP is deemed systemically important for the globe, just like with gold, they're not going to let you keep it. I don't think they're going to even pay you. You know what they'll probably even do is blacklist your wallet. Oh, shit. And then nobody's going to be able to touch that wallet's crypto. Then your XRP is locked up. The goal is, in my opinion, XRP is going to burn up. They're going to have all of their escrowed XRP, just like Stellar burned up half. The same guy, Judd McCaleb, the same guy that was one of the original people at XRP, started XLM. And what did XLM do? It's the similar purpose crypto. The same guy, they burned up half the Stellar. They're going to do the same to XRP. They got to burn it all out. It'll take, 4 or 5 years? Because they get $1 million a year, right? Or $1 billion per month. Yeah, 1 billion XRPs per month. So you got 40. So you're looking at 40 months, 45 months or something. And then half the XRP, the whatever's in escrow is going to get burned. And then we're left with just what we got. Look, We've already known on this channel. That's why my channel is the most heavily shadow banned cryptocurrency channel, because these other people, they don't have the evidence that you have. Do they have the 2013-14 Ripple customer list like Crypto Hulk? No, they don't. Ripple was in court, and the court sealed documents that were the 2013 and 14 and 15 Ripple customer list. Oh, and the way that Ripple went about incentivizing companies and countries, I got all the information. It's absolutely glorious. I could show you all kinds of cool shit. I know how Ripple did it. Ripple's the government. Okay, so what's going to happen is this. We've only been talking about this a minimum of 3 years. Ripple doesn't take over countries or companies. Ripple is giving the world, okay, Ripple, and who's Ripple? The top 5 families of the world working with the governments. So Ripple is giving the world a platform. See, I got XRP, but I don't overbuy anything at all. I got all these cryptos, some on Caleb Brown, some on my phone, some in a hardware wallet. But I don't just have one. Whew, that's all bad. When the governments of the world, when they take over, and I'm going to tell you what, very well could take over all the ISOs, so that'll be all bad because I got my HBAR there. But then again, I got 20 cryptos at Caleb Brown and maybe another 20 on my phone. So I have a good collection. Let's say if all the ISOs, which let's say that we know of, you got to throw that one in there, that we know of. Maybe there's 10 and the government takes them. So diversify. Give me a call. Become a member, $500 member. We can talk. Break stuff down. There's a lot to this. It's not just, well, I don't want to trade cryptos every day. That's not what that's about. My $500 club has like 10 different things that it offers. There's a lot of, one guy doesn't even trade. And we talked and he got a better understanding about where he needs to go now. But he's not one of these that buy something and sell it 10 minutes later. Okay, we're going to get into right here. Stu Lavelle says gold is at 4,000, almost 4,100 bucks. I was saying when I first started Crypto Hulk Show in 2020, gold should hit 10 to 15,000. Now everybody was like, oh, there's no way. Well, it's starting to kind of look like it might actually happen. We're halfway there almost, right? So let us start off. I want to show you something right here. So, okay, this is for all the dumb people, in case you're watching. Swift's not going anywhere. These dummies out there, oh, Ripple's gonna take over Swift. No, they're not, dummy. Swift has already integrated Ripple technology, dummy. Well, it's sad. These people out there are so fucking stupid. They watch these shows. They watch these crypto shows, and then they have to leave stupid comments on my show. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. They're not going to use Ethereum. It's too slow. Not when it's on top of an XRP ledger, asshole. Wow, these people are so fucking stupid. Do I like... But Crypto Hulk, I didn't think you liked that crypto. It's not about liking. It's about making money. Hey, you can go sit around with your little Twitter spaces and sit around and listen to fucked up people that are high on drugs talk about dumb shit that don't make any sense. You can watch these crypto shows and hate this crypto and hate that one and like yours. And my show is about making money. We used to just sit around and not make money. But I said, fuck it. This crypto is going to take off. And before we have crypto regs, I'm going to be buying and selling cryptos because one day the United States government police are going to blow the whistle and stop all the gambling shit. Well, you know what? I hadn't gambled, so it's time I get in. And I'm going to walk away with hopefully 50, 60, 70,000 bucks in winnings before they decide to blow the whistle. Okay. That's what my goal is. I want to make 50, 60, 70, 80 grand in cash I never had before. And instead of just sitting around sitting around watching a 13-minute video, then going into Twitter Spaces and talking about how fucked up Crypto Hulk is. I don't have time to go into these Twitter Spaces because I'm too busy making money off my show. I'm too busy buying dips, and this month I'm sure I'm going to clear 5,000 in profits. Okay, I don't have time to waste my time with these people that are all fucking coked out trying to put a sentence together on a Twitter Space. Not quite the place I'm trying to be. All right. Oh, update. The blockchain company, actually, there's a couple of them. The vice president contacted me in a text with hopes that I'm doing well. Excited to talk to Crypto Hulk this week, hopefully. Hopefully I get a chance to speak with the president of the company, see if we can find common ground on stuff so I can learn more about their companies. There's a couple different companies that kind of I have a potential to interact with. And both of them, I think, are looking pretty positive if they want to get a hold of Crypto Hulk, actually. So one of the, let's say, corporation owners or presidents was overseas, so wasn't able, and they're taking care of whatever they've taken care of overseas. And they'll be back, and then hopefully we'll have a discussion. And then hopefully Robert Driscoll and Don Foley will have new investment opportunities, let's say. And you might find out a little early. I happen to know a crypto influencer who tends to talk a lot and tends to have a $500 club where somehow information just slips out into like where the early tokens will be released, just stuff like that. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. I don't know anything at all. I would never do so. Far be it from me. So I'm hoping everything works out. I'm going to be eagerly studying these two companies and spreading the gospel, as they say, spreading the good news. So, Don Foley, thank you very much for that tax-free donation. My U.S. government appreciates that completely. That's the way the government wants that to happen, prefers. Robert Driscoll says, I'm a sign holder trying to change my way of thinking. Thanks, Hulk. Right. Robert, Robbie, Bobby. You got Juno or Judono? Okay, here's the article. 10 of the world's biggest banks. Now, look, we're going to go over an article. For those of you that have feelings that get hurt really easy, now's the time to get the fuck off the channel permanently. But Crypto Hulk, why do you say that? Because I don't want stupid, fucked up people at my show. That's why. I don't care if I have 10,000 people. I'd rather have 300 to 500 strong investors than 10,000 fucking weak, spineless, dickhead, pussified males. Imagine that picture. 10, you got to hear this article. There's going to be Ethereum mixing this next rant. I'm going to go on a rant right now. There's going to be Ethereum involved. If your feelings are going to get hurt, leave the fucking channel, okay? But Crypto Hulk, it doesn't scale. But Crypto Hulk, dude, shut up. Go watch some other fucking channel. 10 major banks of the world unite to forge G7 stablecoin. You know what G7? You heard of the G20? It's the top countries of the world, the most powerful, the most influential. You ever heard of the G7? Those are the top 7. They're more powerful than the G20. Let me explain to you what's going on super quick. I'll give you the Entertainment Tonight special. If you want to find out where the most money in the world is, it's really like your top 5 banks. Okay? Your JP Morgan, Citibank, HSBC. You get like literally out of the top G20, out of the top countries of the world, top 20. You can literally just get the top 5 banks, and there's 80% of the money right there. If you look at like the rest of the world, you could literally take the top 5 countries of the world and their banks, and you pretty much run the whole entire world's banking system. What we're talking about here is the top 10 banks of the world. I'm not even talking about the top 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm talking about the world's top 10 banks. They probably control 80% of all the money on the planet. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 90. Okay. But we're looking at 70, 80, 90. That's pretty big, Crypto Hulk. I'm showing you what's going on. Now, they are uniting and they're going to rewrite the future of money. Are you hearing me? People that don't believe in crypto, you don't have to. This shit's going to happen right in front of your fucking face, and you're going to miss out. You're going to be watching Crypto Hulk show. Well, you won't watch my show and miss out. If you watch my show and miss out on making money, even on small trades or whatever, there's something wrong. My show has long-term trading information, short-term trading, wherever you fit in the midterm, gold, whatever. I mean, if you watch my show and you don't make like a ton of money throughout this whole thing, then something's wrong with you. You just prefer being poor. My show is a proactive show. It means got to do something. Global banking giants. I want you to hear, oh my God. Global banking giants are racing to what? Reshape finance. It's coming right now, everybody. They're doing it. And we're investing in it. When I see something, I alert you guys. You can invest in it or not, your choice, but at least you'll be given the information. I take advantage of it. When this market, we had a market meltdown in crypto, I took advantage of it right away. Bam. I got $500 members calling me. Bam. Here's what I'm doing. But I'm like, you do what you got to do, but here's what I'm doing. Okay, Crypto Hulk. So you're not worried? I said, no, man, I'm going to make a minimum $5,000 off this shit in the next 2-3 weeks, minimum. Global banking giants are racing to reshape finance as they unite. As the world's top 10 banks unite behind a what? Groundbreaking reserve-backed digital currency built for public blockchains, signaling a seismic, like an earthquake, a seismic shift towards what? Regulated blockchain adoption. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. When I saw this, article, I was like, damn it. This thing is coming right now. Global banks plot a bold blockchain pivot. You know what a pivot is? When they change all of a sudden. Bam, like that. We are right there. What my channel is about is seeing what are they doing. I don't care. I don't give a fuck what they say. On this channel, we watch what we watch what they do, and we invest how we think we got to make money off whatever. See, whatever they're doing, I'm not just going to read news. I'm going to read news to you, and I'm going to invest in shit that I think they're going to do so I can profit off of it instead of sitting around. You're going to love this one. I'm tired of sitting around with my thumb up my ass watching these other broadcasters with their little 13-minute shows that don't show me how to invest for shit. I'm so fucking bored of that. That is like so 1990s, okay? But Crypto Hulk, The internet wasn't around. Yeah, it was 97. Came out in 97. Okay, you're right, Crypto Hulk. I'll shut up. Major global banks are taking a decisive step toward, I need you to see this. This is what my show is all about. These banks are taking a decisive step toward integrating blockchain technology into what? Traditional finance. They're doing it right now. The top biggest 10 banks in the world are actively now setting up their crypto. This is the warning sign I'm showing you. Each day in my program, when I find out a crypto that might be involved in this, hey, everybody, this is Crypto Hulk. Swift is hooking up with Linnea. That's an Ethereum layer 2. And you know what the smart guys say? That's Ethereum. It doesn't work. Well, I'll tell you what, a layer 2 on top of an XRP ledger works fucking brilliantly, especially when it's got Cosmo SDK attached to it. Oh, shit, Crypto Hulk always has the right answer. Yes, it does. Oh, but it doesn't scale. Okay, you don't even know what you're talking about. That's why Swift's hooking up with Linnea, because Swift doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Oh, Swift's an old company, blah, blah. We're going to go over today for the rest of the show. We're going to talk about this because during this week coming here, Caleb Brown's going to start having Linnea because we had a little chat. Caleb Brown showed up on the program and we talked about different cryptos, and they told us that they're going to be offering Linnea. Now, it's only got I think $1 billion in total value locked. That's not a big deal at all, is it, Crypto Hulk? Oh, no. Not $1 billion. That's not a big deal at all. On October 10th, these banks, so that was 3 days ago. October 10th, they are examining the creation. These top 10 banks that run the world are examining the creation of a stable coin tied 1-to-1 to G7 fiat currencies, designed to function securely on public blockchains. That means it's for everybody. Are you hearing me? The top 10 banks of the world have a stable coin they're going to be releasing to the world. Now, they want to make it look like they're just looking into it. They don't know what it's going to be. But I'm telling you what, Crypto Hulk show, we're all over this like flies on horse. Horse flies are big fucking flies. Let's get off that subject. They must be eating that horse shit. That's why they get so big. All right. This move of these banks signal a growing willingness among major banks to explore digital transformation. Let me say this one again. Banks are exploring digital transformation within, all inside a regulated framework, while maintaining financial stability and market integrity. Banks are not going to get into crypto that are volatile, that are going to get rug pulled, not regulated. Oh, no. This is all going to be done right. This is what we're focusing on, Crypto Hulk. What are these big banks doing? Crypto Hulk, what cryptos could it possibly be? A group of leading international banks is jointly they're exploring the issuance of a 1-to-1 reserve-backed form of digital money that provides a stable payment asset available. See, it's not like Bitcoin or any of these. It's not like any coin that we know of now. Because this one is going to provide a stable payment asset. Oh. Now, who's involved? Banco Santander, Ripple partner. Bank of America, we know that said they're going to be a Ripple partner. Barclays, Ripple partner. BNP Paribas, Ripple partner. Deutsche Bank works heavily with R3 Corda, Ripple. Goldman Sachs was a Ripple partner, been there from day one. MUFG, Ripple partner. TD Bank and UBS, Ripple partners. Crypto Hulk, do we have any idea who they might be working with? Oh, I have no idea. I have no fucking clue. Now, remember, everybody, Ripple is not going to take over anybody. Let me say this really slow for the brand new people. What Ripple does is they have different divisions besides the government division. The secret one that we can't talk about. There's Ripple Labs and shit like that. Ripple's a software company. And like I've only been telling you for at least 3 solid years, Ripple is the government. So the government's not going to end up being a global bank. That's Ripple. What Ripple will, now what will Ripple do, Crypto Hulk? It'll provide a better platform. And what will happen is, look, the people in power, I want you to think about this. The people that run the world are not going to just let some little startup company out of San Francisco with Brad Garlinghouse, just a good old Kansas boy. Look, no one's going to let Ripple take the world over. That's the dumbest fucking shit I ever heard, okay? The top 5 families of the world created Ripple, okay? So for the slow people that are just fighting out now, Ripple's the government acting for the 5 rich people in the world, top families. They are creating a whole crypto system to enslave everybody. That's what all this is. Oh, God, no, Crypto Hulk. But what about the Nassar Jassar? They're here to save us. And they're, no, stop it. Stop it with all that shit, okay? You're going to be a fucking slave. That's what this whole crypto is. It's a method to control everything on the planet. To watch everything that's being done. There'll be a supervisor somewhere. The great leader. Or people want to call him different names. Call him the guy that gave Eve the apple. But this motherfucker is going to control the whole world. That's where this ends up. Let's look at some of this evidence here. Now, we've got Ripple right here. Let's do a copy and a paste. Here we're going to start dropping articles for evidence. This whole shit was already planned out. I've been telling you guys this. Here's your first point of evidence. Ripple to add smart contracts to the XRP ledger. This was about last year. So Ripple had to have smart contracts because you got to be able to program the money when you give it to people and when you steal it back from them. You've got to have a smart contract to do that. You got to have programmable money. Remember, your money's not yours. It's going to be temporarily given to you. That's how this future goes. They aren't going to allow you to save money. That gives you freedom. They're going to force you to spend your money and not save it, okay? This is Ripple's part in this whole system of control. There's the article right there. I'm clicking out of it. Next, here's an article. Now we're going to go boom, boom, boom through articles right here. So you might want to start paying attention. Okay, there was a project called Cosmo SDK. Ripple got involved in this in May 2024. So they added a side chain to the XRP ledger. What Ripple did was make the ledger more interoperable without having to compromise the original ledger. So they added a side chain. I'm not going to get into explaining it all because I have no idea how they did it. But they worked with PeerSys and the people that made Cosmo SDK. Ripple comes in, gets a side chain off the ledger so it can interoperate with all those other side chains. I'm sorry, with all those other chains using virtual machines. So what we're looking at here is the XRP ledger, Ethereum virtual machine sidechain, will be built leveraging Ethereum virtual machine, and it looks to me like operating system, a modular, customizable. Okay. It brings 60 Cosmos SDK chains via the inter-blockchain communication protocol. So Ripple's mixed up in all this protocol. Now, why are we talking about that? Because so is Swift. Swift comes in. Let me try to copy this. Let me do a copy paste. So Swift is using this as well. That's what's going on. So there's your article right there. Swift, this article came out about 2 weeks ago. Swift is going to add blockchain-based ledger. Swift's not going anywhere. Swift's not being replaced. Dumb shits say that they are, okay? Oh, Swift is old and antiquated. All they're going to do is look, the richest people of the world control Swift. They're not getting put out of business. You need to understand this. The same people that run Swift are going to stay there. What happened is the good technology will all be adopted by Swift and the government. No one's changing. Nobody is getting fired, laid off from these powerful. The same people running shit are still going to run it. That's what you have to understand. These rich people you're not going to tear them out by the roots and get all. That shit's not going to happen. And that's why a lot of people get all mad at the Crypto Hawk Show, because they don't understand they've been lied to about the people that they watch on social media. They're watching completely dumb shit people that are telling them, oh, the savior's coming and we're going to all be rescued from this oppressive system. No, the system is the slave system. You're all going to be slaves. That's what this is all about. Crypto's not here to save us. It's here to enslave us, okay? Swift comes in and they tell you right here, go to what paragraph? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th paragraph. The blockchain-based shared ledger. Swift has, and who does Swift work with? 11,000 banks of the world. So when these 10 banks that we started off the show with 10 banks and 7 governments, they're all now talking about a shared ledger. Now, Swift's doing the messaging, okay, but they got a new ledger, and the whole world's going to use it. The Swift is telling us here they've got 30 global banks, and they've already begun designing and developing a shared ledger. Crypto Hulk, what's the use case of this ledger? Real-time, 24/7 cross-border payments. Swift's not going away. Please tell those foolish people you're listening to, Swift's not going away. Who needs to go away are those dumb shits that make programs, okay? The blockchain-based shared ledger, a secure, real-time log of transactions between financial institutions. will start with a conceptual prototype with consensus. Oh, Swift is telling us the work that they're doing with the shared ledger has started with consensus. Now, why is that important? Because consensus has Linnea. That's where this all comes from. Now, let me tell you something. Oh, I got a lot to tell you. This whole Cosmos thing with Swift, see, Cosmo SDK hooked up with Ripple. That's the side chain that Ripple has. Here's your article right here. Here's your article right here. In 2019, so we're talking 5 years ago, the Interchain Foundation and Catalyst agreed to bring Cosmos SDK to Swift. There you go, 5 years ago. This has already been planned out 5 years ago. I'm showing the articles right here. That Ripple and the Cosmo SDK sidechain and all that, this shit has all been done. Look right here, 2019. The Interchain Foundation joined up with Swift. All of this right here to show you. Tendermint is in there. Here we go. The porting of Cosmo SDK to Swift has been planned in 3. They tell you how they broke it down. This article, this is like 2000. This is 2020. So this article's 5 years ago. They're already showing us this interoperable blockchain. Swift has already joined this. This is Ripple's already hooked up with that. Ripple hooked up with this last year. The Cosmo SDK, Ripple hooks up with them last year. Swift was already hooked up with this interoperable blockchain 5 years ago. Okay, so this is not brand new stuff. Now, I'm going to speed through this stuff. What we got here is the internet. We already have an interoperable payment system. It's called the Interledger Foundation. The Interledger Foundation, you know what year that was started? 2019. The same year that Cosmo SDF was created, the same year Swift joined Cosmo SDF. Just want to let you know that so is Ripple is a member of Cosmo SDF also. And what happened in 2019 is the world finally acknowledged that there's an Interledger Foundation. See, in 2015, I'm not going to teach you this whole, you need to read this article and understand it. What we have in 2015 is Ripple here's how we know Ripple's not a real company, it's a government. Ripple is giving the World Wide Web Foundation a payments platform that will be used by everybody. It's called the Interledger Protocol. That's the platform. It was invented by Ripple and then just given to the internet. Okay. There's your evidence here. Bill Gates was mixed up in all this. Now, here's this guy, Patrick Bet David. These people. What does Patrick Bet David have to say? He mentions XRP as a possible Swift replay. Oh, you think so? You think so? He came out of the closet October. I've only been saying this for probably 3 to 5 years at a minimum. with evidence. So in this article, David, or what's his fucking name? Bet David or whatever. I don't even fucking care. Patrick Bet David has spotlighted XRP as a potential candidate. No shit, Sherlock Holmes, the famous detective, as a possible replacement of Swift. Let me just summarize this quick. He's got 2.7 million lost followers on YouTube, it looks like. Could Swift be replaced? He answered yes without any hesitation. This guy's completely clueless. He is on planet Uranus. He said Swift has long served as a transport company system for money transfers, but the rise of blockchain now makes room for newer, faster alternatives. He looks at Ripple as a serious alternative to Swift. Okay, everything. What he didn't show you is the Interledger protocol, because he probably doesn't have a clue about it. Swift and all this money transferring around the world, this shit was already completed in 2015. The Interledger protocol was gifted to the world at about 2015. It was already figured out 10 years ago what's going to happen to transferring money. Swift's not being replaced. The protocol that they use, yes, they're going to use a different one. They're going to have their platform on top. Swift is going to have their platform on top of the XRP ledger. Swift is not being replaced by XRP. Swift will work on top of the XRP ledger because the XRP ledger was invented by the top 5 families of the world to get this done for them. That's the answer right there. So this guy has no clue. Swift's already working with Linnea. But guess what? Swift's already working with XRP. Let's look right here in these articles. Let's just take it back 3 years ago to 2022. Let me show you. Swift's already integrated the XRP ledger. That's already done. It's not, the XRP is not taking over Swift. Here's my evidence right here. That's what we have to do is look at the evidence. Right here, the article's titled, Thunes Partner with Adijarafa Bank. So the money company called Thunes is out of Singapore. They're partnering with Adijarafa. Go to the third paragraph. Thunes is connected to Adijarafa Bank via Ripple. So now we know that Thunes and Adijarafa use Ripple, okay? Now let's look at this next article right here. Here's where Swift is already using Ripple and their partners right here. I'm not saying they're official partners with Ripple, although I'm sure they are. But here's the evidence. Swift is already using Ripple technology 3 years ago. Thunes enables banks, here we go, banks, to unlock mobile wallet payments via their existing Swift connectivity. Everybody, we already know from the other article, Thunes is a Ripple partner. Now, in this one right here, last year in October, Thunes is unlocking banks and Swift utilizing wallets. And guess what? They have 3 billion mobile wallets already. Swift is already using mobile wallets with Ripple technology via a company called Thunes. Swift is not going away, dumbasses of the world. Dumbasses of the world, please unite and watch the Crypto Hulk show. Swift is using wallets with Ripple Technology. It's the company called Thunes. They're already doing this. Swift is not going away. Swift is utilizing blockchain, and they have been for years, okay? They're not going away. Swift, again, is already using Ripple technology. Here's the evidence here. They're using wallets and they're using Thunes to move money around the world instantly, and they already have 3 billion customers. That's almost the whole fucking planet. Okay, these are just the wallets. There's that part. Because there's so much people out there, oh, Crypto Hulk, you don't know. No, you don't watch my show. What you do is watch the little 1.5 minute videos and think you know everything, and you don't know shit, okay? So here's Linnea, a little ZK Ethereum virtual machine information page I saw right here. Linnea already has bridged capabilities. Let's look right here. What we got? Linnea. There's Linnea. Pretty clear right there. Linnea. And what do we see? A token bridge. Oh, look at that. Token bridge, bridged token. Then we got ZK, Ethereum Virtual Machine version 2. Okay, this is all tech stuff I'm not getting into. So we know that Swift has been using SDK, Cosmo SDK, for 5 years. We know that Ripple is linked up with Cosmo SDK for interoperability. And we're back here, Crypto Hawk. YT shut us off, but I had to get back on. So we know that Swift is hooked up with Chainlink, which is a Ripple partner, right? Let's look at the evidence for that. Chainlink. Let's go there. Copy and a paste. Right there. Okay. The article reads, Ripple partners with Chainlink. So we know that Swift is a Chainlink partner as well. So there's your Ripple connection. I just showed you where Thunes is working with Swift, and Thunes is a Ripple partner, and they send money instantly around the world, and they have mobile wallets. There's 3 billion of them that Swift has with Thunes, and that's Ripple technology there. We know that Swift is hooking up with Linnea because Joseph Lubin, and on the Swift page, it tells us consensus. We went to the Swift page. What does consensus have? Consensus has Linnea. That's what Swift's using. Yeah, Codius isn't real, somebody says. So these 30 banks, and then you got this other article here is with the 10 banks. They're going to rewrite. They're telling you, these banks, along with Swift, are rewriting the future of money. They're not going away. They're going to change history as you know it. And then guess what? The same people running shit, they're still going to be there. So whoever you are out there trying to spread these stupid ass ideas that somehow crypto is going to get rid of all the bad people and shit, and that's so fucking wrong. You guys are misleading people, tremendously misleading people. Let us look here. Now, I looked up the overview of the G7 stablecoin project. There's 10 major global banks. How much time do I got? 6 minutes. Maybe I can pull this off in 6 minutes. This is the wrap up to all this. Now I'm going to go over. I did a report. Now I'm going to cherry pick what the report is. This report, I showed you all the evidence with the articles. So whatever we talk about, I've already shown you the facts. So there's no reason to argue or discuss. I've shown all the facts up front. Now I'm going to show you what the artificial intelligence is showing us. The project is going to be in stages. So these banks are going to have a project of having a blockchain and a stable coin. And it's going to come out in stages. What they want to do is improve cross-border payments and competition. This stable coin, I want you to hear this, that these 10 banks are going to set up, they're going to dominate. They're trying to overthrow a Tether and a Circle. Just want to show you what the AI is saying. AI is saying that these 10 banks, these 7 countries, it's positioned as a rival to dominate stable coins like Tether and Circle. These 10 banks want to take over Tether and Circle. That's what they want to do. Take over the crypto stable coin space. That's what these 10 banks are going to do. I'm telling you, with Swift. And that's why I feel that Linnea Crypto is going to be involved in this. Because Swift's telling us they're working with consensus. That's pretty much your sign right there. You got 10 banks involved. Details are sparse at this early stage. They're not really telling us everything. That's where speculation comes in. Maybe it might be a few different platforms, okay? We know you're going to have R3 in there. We know Stellar is mixed in just because, and XRP. So we know those 3 are all in there, along with Chainlink. Because we know that Goldman Sachs has invested in Circle, and Citibank has their token service with that shipping company called Maersk, Maersk. And Maersk, let me tell you something about this. We did an article on the Maersk thing like 3 years ago. That was a stellar project that just happened to disappear. Now I know why. Citibank came in, took it over. This makes sense. Citi developed a Citi token services tokenization, partnered with Maersk, and explored its own stablecoin in 2025. This is what happened. We were studying Maersk. Stellar bought I want to say 25% of the Maersk company, and we were all excited about that. And then all of a sudden, they shut down that program. But they never told you why. I know that Citibank was involved in some way. There was some hint that Citibank joined this program. And then about 6 months later, I saw where the Maersk shipping platform just kind of disappeared all of a sudden. See, what happens, you guys, is this. It's not that a project disappears. It's that sometimes a bank will see you might see a project like Ripple Russia, Ripple China. Okay. It was functioning. Then all of a sudden it appears that it's not functioning. Codius is a project that appeared that they stopped working on it. It appeared that they stopped working on it. Maersk, Maersk, Maersk is a shipping company that was working with Stellar, and that it appeared that program shut down. Did it? Well, how is this with Citibank then? Working with Maersk. We took it over, got a stablecoin now. Oh, dang, Crypto Hawk. Yeah, we went over that one. Deutsche Bank has a history with R3 Corda. There you go. So R3 is mixed up in this. Project Guardian, BNP Paribas. You got Barclays working with Society. All these are Ripple stuff right here. You got Hyperledger Fabric, that's Stellar, mixed in with R3 Corda, that's XDC Crypto. Consensus is mixed up in this, along with Chainlink, which we already know. Fireblocks is mixed up in this. Oh, dang, Crypto Hulk. I'm telling you, FIS is mixed up in this with Circle. That's the biggest financial payment company in the world. Ripple partner. They have FIS owned a company called WorldPay, which has a Ripple patent. Let's see. So Swift comes out at Sibos September 29. Swift starts talking about a real-time 24/7 cross-border payment system. It's utilizing ZK, Ethereum Virtual Machine Network. That's Linea. It leverages, here's AI saying this. I'm not trying to sell anybody nothing. I'm just telling you what the AI is showing. The AI says Linea, the platform that Swift is claiming that they're coming out with, leverages Linea. It's telling you right here what it is. It's Consensus Ethereum Layer 2 ZK Ethereum Virtual Machine. For what? Scalable. It is scalable. But Crypto Hulk, Ethereum's not scalable. Well, they figured that out, asshole. It's called Cosmos SDK, and it's called ZK Ethereum Virtual Machine, dumbass. Wow. Well, looks like I'm wrong there, Crypto Hulk. All these fucking clowns try to get on the show and leave comments. Oh, Ethereum costs too much. It's too slow. I'm not selling Ethereum. I'm just telling you what the fucking facts are, okay? They figure shit out, all right? I'm just reading what they're doing. You can argue all you want. I'm just reading what they're doing. You can argue all you want. When you've got 30 financial institutions from 16 countries participating in SWIFT with Linea, all these people involved, and you're trying to tell me, do you realize how fucking stupid you look? It's embarrassing. Your parents are looking at you. Your parents, who your dad is a fucking drug addict, truck driver, and your mom is a meth-addicted prostitute who's 70 years old. And they're from the South. No, Milwaukee. This platform that Swift's coming up with, it leverages Linea. Just thought I'd let you know. This marks Swift's pivot. A pivot. Swift is making a pivot toward, not away from, toward, not away from blockchain. Swift's pivoting toward blockchain. Interoperability, bridging traditional finance with DeFi. It is a complement. Linea positions it as a complement to existing Ripple XRP ledger. It's a complement. It's not a replacing. Do you see what's going on? These dumbasses telling you that Swift's going to be taken out. Ripple, it's not. It's a complement. This Linea is a complement to the XRP ledger. They're not fighting each other. Tell the dumb crypto influencers this, okay? They need help. They need your help. This use case centers on enhancing global payment efficiency, reducing cost, integrating digital assets into banking. Nobody is getting taken over. Okay? This is not that at all. So I asked Grok, how likely is it that Linea is the actual crypto that they're talking about? Grok says highly likely, estimated 80 to 90% probability. There you go. The G7 stable project announced October 10th by 10 major banks aims to issue multi-currency stablecoin on public blockchain for cross-border settlements. There you go. And it's going to mirror, it's going to do the same thing as the SWIFT consensus Linnea. So we learned about the 10 banks today and the 7 countries. They're coming up with their little deal, right? Well, Grok is saying that that's 80 to 90%, the same thing as SWIFT. And we already showed you what the SWIFT one was, okay? With all those connections there. And Grok saying it's 89%, they're doing the same thing, okay? What the SWIFT consensus Linnea bridge, if you want to call it that, what is that focused on? Tokenized assets and payments. Okay. Ethereum compatible chains like Linnea and alignment with regulatory frameworks for stablecoins. SWIFT's infrastructure could serve as the messaging backbone for the stablecoins distribution, while Linnea, that's the one that I bought up heavily, Linnea's ZK EVM tech enables scalable, there you go, it's scalable. It allows scalable, compliant, on-chain transactions. That's how this works. They're working together. So I think I'm going to wrap that one up. And I gave you the information. There's several cryptos involved in this. And again, for new people, which cryptos do I buy? Well, I can't tell you which ones to buy. The article talked about Linnea. The article talked about XRP. The article talked about Chainlink. I strongly feel Stellar is involved in this. Just do the Hyperledger and the Citibank Mayor's connection there. Those cryptos are involved. And there's other ones that I didn't see necessarily in this article right here. Dryer Vent Solutions. Hey, Hulk, can you check out Trident Digital Holdings, the NASDAQ based in Singapore? Trident announces $500 financing plan for the XRP Treasury. Yeah, no, again, that would be a crypto. What we've seen a lot for some of you guys that invest is when a company announces they're going to put 500 million in Bitcoin or 500 million XRP, those companies tend to do really, really well. So I will let you guys have that. All right, that'll do it for the AM program. And we went over a lot of information, and that'll be good. Today on the PM show, I'm going to try to put one together, 5 o'clock PM Pacific. I don't have any information now, so I'm going to have to see what we're going to broadcast then. But there's a good little start right there. You might want to look into some of the, if you're brand new, look at some of the cryptos that we discussed today. And I'll see y'all in my next broadcast.